the Bodega Holiday Special. Yeah, what's going on? Part of people, the place to be. I go by the name of the BK Apologetics, transmitting all the way live. New York is the city, Brooklyn is the borough. What's good? What's popping? We are here. Been a minute. Took a quick little hiatus, but we're back in the building. You know what I mean? The Bodega is here. We ain't going nowhere. Even though, you know, rumors of our demise has been grossly exaggerated. You know what I mean? The UA is definitely here. So let me say what's up to the incomparable, the indelible, Nate2D2. We got Taylor Lott. Who else we got here? It's pretty much us here. Just us. Early, you probably threw a lot of people off. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, but listen, there we go. We got Jonathan Hawkins. We got Norman in the building. What's going on, y'all? We got you again. We got Dana and then playing double duty over here. We got Chapman. What's going on? What's going on? Please like, share, and subscribe if you have not. And also share this link. Tell a friend that it's them again. We started a little early because there's going to be a lot of apologetics, a lot of shenanigans. So just as you could tell, people are very, colorful today. You know what I mean? So it's going to be interesting. We got 816 Apology Assault. We got Carl Anthony in the building. What's up? So let me tell you about my illustrious panel. We're going to start off with, of course, one of the Bodega ladies. We got Old Sunflower Tree in the building. What's going on, sis?
Hey, everybody. Oh, sunflower tree. Oh, sunflower tree.
Wow.
Okay.
Nice. And next to her, we have another Bodega lady. We have Miss Titus, a.k.a. The Grinch, is in the building.
Grace and peace, family.
Grand Rising. Can we get that Grinch smile? Can we get the Grinch grin? There you go.
I tried. Sorry.
That was good.
Then next to her, we have another Bodega lady. We got the new in the building. What's going on?
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Yeah, you're hitting us with a double dose of Christmas spirit. I see 2 trees behind you.
Merry Christmas, especially to people who have Christmas trees in their house.
Oh, that is a shot to somebody.
Diaper alert.
Wow. Then yet another Bodega lady in the building. We got Santina Nakia in the building. What's going on?
What's popping, y'all?
You look extremely festive, sister. And speaking of people who look extremely festive, we got the real American, Mr. Holiday himself, Mr. Phil Fox. What's going on?
Just talk, man, please. Let's move past this dude. That pose was worth it, though. That pose.
Greetings.
Yeah, we look nice. Yeah, absolutely.
Queen to be. Oh, wait, that's the wrong Bodega. Sorry.
Oh, man.
This tonight. I probably.
And then next to Mr. Holiday, we have Jack Skellington in the building.
What's going on, Jack? Everybody? What's going on?
Jack
Skellington.
Oh,
and then next to him is yet another Bodega lady, is Mary Shelmas.
Mary Shelmas. Mm-hmm. Welcome to the BK Saves Christmas special.
Oh man, and yes, and I'm rocking my my pagan holiday T-shirt. All right, very ironic, I know. So, but in a sober tone, as always, we always talk about the pandemic, and it's raging more than ever. So we definitely want to see what's going on in different parts of the world. So we're going to start with Mary Shelmas. What's going on with the corona by you?
We still got it. That is the update, is that we still unfortunately have coronavirus. Our numbers they're not good, but they're not as terrible as other places. But we still have like a lot of schools are still doing virtual learning. I still tell my little cousin about 10 times a day to do his work, go do your stuff, do this, do that, do the other. So we're still not really open. We don't really want no new friends to come visit us either, because our numbers aren't that high. So,
Right.
but it's just, I mean, it's still here. I mean, because if it wasn't, this would be a live Christmas special. Just know that, y'all. BK will be saving Christmas live if there was no coronavirus.
Yes. All right, Jack Skeleton, what's going on by the ATL?
Well, Georgia sets a new record for most confirmed COVID-19 cases in a single day, hitting more than 6,000 new cases were reported by Georgia. Wow. So we're doing terrible.
Sheesh.
Doing terrible.
Mr. Holiday, Phil Fox, what's going on over by Detroit?
Yeah, I was just looking at the numbers. We are at 63, so 6,363 cases as of yesterday. Mm-hmm. We had 196 deaths yesterday, wow. So that's up from the last time we were in Bodega. But yeah, since mid-October, it looks like we've been on a steady upswing in our average number. We're at our average number of cases right now at about 6,300. So, wow. Yeah, so it's going up, and yeah, so it's just got to stay safe, family. Got to stay safe.
Right. Real. And for St. Tina, Nakia, what's going on by your neck of the woods?
We had 4,000 cases yesterday with 100 deaths. Kids are still, it's mixed. Some schools are virtual, some schools are not. People wash your hands and wear your mask. Thank you.
And Dean New, what's going on by your neck of the woods?
My neck of the woods, it sounds like it's the same here as it is with everyone else. Actually, they made an announcement today. Right now we're in stage 3, but we're going back to stage 1 on Monday because the cases are just flying. So it's been challenging. As a frontline worker, it's been challenging. It's been exhausting. It's been trying, but God is good. I'm healthy. And the number of cases, I think the last time I was on the Bodega, I was saying numbers like 76 deaths. As of today, we are at 86 deaths. So not that bad. I think I was here like weeks ago and it's only 10 more. But like I said, cases are just increasing in people. I feel like people are starting to get a little bit reckless. So that's wow. Where we're at.
Thank you for sharing. Ms. Titus 2, what's going on with the corona by you?
Well, it feels like we've got 525,600 cases, but we don't. But we did crack a record today as well. I think it was like around 3,000 confirmed cases today. So we're on the uptick. So yeah, I'm washing my hands and staying in the house.
Right. And old sunflower tree, what it be over there by you?
Down here in the land of the Cajuns, it's out of control. We had about 3,000 cases today. We reported our highest number of cases ever yesterday, which is like about over 4,000. We're over 200,000+ actual cases, and we're well on our way, I believe, to 7,000 deaths from the virus. Wow. In promise, things are looking a little bit better. We have not had a reported death in a number of weeks now, and the number of cases are actually in the single digits. So here in Louisiana, people of God and not of God, put your mask on, wash your hands, stay home. That's all I got. So I got for you. Stay home.
Well, over here in the Empire State, total hospitalizations are now at 5,321. We have 10,595 people who are tested positive. And yesterday we had 87 fatalities. And it just keeps going up, up, and up. The governor is closing indoor dining as of Monday. And we have to, batten down the hatches and try to, and even though, the vaccines are going to be, being rolled out and, people have their mixed feelings about the vaccine. So it is what it is. But, man, have you seen how Australia handled it? Son, they chilling over there. Like, but they were hardcore. Like I think they shut down the airports for like 2 months. You couldn't go to another county. Like you would get arrested. Like straight up. And they did that, I think, for 2 months. Now, everybody's walking around, no masks, like it never happened. Crazy.
But the vaccine ain't popping, no.
Actually, they don't. Yeah, they were working on a vaccine, but it was giving people false positives for HIV.
Man.
So they kind of stopped working on that vaccine.
My God.
Yeah.
I wouldn't take it.
All I know is I would have been rich because I was probably going to be in litigation for pain and suffering. That's all I know.
I mean, I'm not going to tell you, if you should or shouldn't take it. You know what I mean? That's something that you have to decide for you and your family, whatever. So that's not my place. I'm going to wait and see, personally. I'm not. I'll if I do take it, I'll be like the last guy in the line. You know what I mean? I'm paranoid. I've seen too many movies. So
hey, you guys.
Oh man, hopefully it's not that.
28 days later, I Am Legend. What I mean? I'm sorry. It's just me personally. If you want to take it, cool. You know what I mean? It's not a sin issue.
No judgment.
No judgment here. You know what I mean?
For sure.
I'm just not going to do it.
I want to do your research. That's all I'm going to add to
your research. Man. I mean, what's funny? It's a shame that people have made that term so horrible now.
More research?
No, do your research.
Oh, do your research.
You know what I mean? But it's true. You need to do your research. Absolutely. So, with that being said, as you see, everybody here is pretty festive. We're celebrating a little early, and
I got to give a shout out to my daughters. My youngest daughter hooked me up with the hat, and my oldest daughter hooked me up with the
sweater. Wow!
If you pose like that one more time,
he will. Before we get into it, you know what I mean? Let's talk about what we're wearing here. So Phil Foz just shared his ensemble. Jake Skellington. Can you explain to the people the name? Where that name comes from?
It comes from The Nightmare Before Christmas, and he wears all black. So I'm Jack Skellington.
This guy is such a depressing dude. It's just lower the energy for the whole bodega. All
right, I'll see you.
I'll leave.
Man. Mary Shelman, can you? Oh, stop it, Jack.
I'm sorry, BK. I'm your conscience. This is going to be a show that's all about me now.
Oh, this guy's so sensitive, man. Come on. Thank you. Maybe Shelmus, what are we wearing today?
So I have on I got candy cane lips because I'm sweet like candy. And I have on I actually have candy canes on my cheeks because again I'm sweet like candy. I have on my lighted necklace. It blinks too. I didn't want to give anybody who may have health problems. So I'll just see if I can find a piece. It blinks.
Wow.
So I have a blinking necklace. Oh, and I have my Bali earrings, and I'm a reindeer. Oh, and my sweater says "Please Navidad," and see our tree is
see our tree.
She's all Christmas.
We're trying to trigger as many people as possible today.
All Christmas. Oh yes, and I have my favorite little gingerbread man here with me. In my Christmas mug with hot chocolate.
Bang. You know what I mean? Then, of course, I'm rocking my pagan holiday T-shirt. with the Christmas sweater backing, because irony is my thing. What about you, Saint Tina Nakia?
I opted for the classic teacher sweater.
Uh-oh.
And my hat blinks.
Looking like Luigi.
Oh, wow. I got the lights popping. Nice.
I
nice.
am laughing at Chris, man. The Detroit hood elf.
Nice. So so we got someone just rolled up into the bodega. We got Detroit hood elf. You know what I mean? Hey, what are we wearing, sir? Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Probably one of the best Christmas movies out. You know what I mean? D New. Can you tell us about your ensemble, please?
My ensemble is, yes, literally. Hold on one second.
Uh-oh.
It's a whole show.
Oh, she got to get up.
It's a whole show.
Oh, she got to move the chair, too.
I'm playing games. Gonna rip the runway. Wow.
And then I have, wait.
Well, yours light ups too? What does that say? Oh, it has the gift ticket. Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Nice. Very nice. Ripping the runway over here. Nice. Titus 2. Can you explain the heck you're wearing?
All right, so I'm wearing an SOC original. Okay, you guys ready for this?
The original.
I am now Ty Grinch. Ty Grinch. I have decapitated the Grinch.
There you
Okay,
go.
the Grinch's head is decapitated.
Yes. Violence is always part of the
There you go. She's the only one that has one. Special
only
edition,
one.
limited, only one.
And of course, we have Miss O Sunflower Tree. Can you show us what you are wearing, sister?
Drum roll, please. I thought you was Gumby.
On it.
Whoa.
Oh, sunflower tree, oh, sunflower tree.
That's it. Just 2 lines.
That's amazing.
That's all I know is that part. I don't know the
That
rest
is
of it.
I like the ornament in the middle.
Shawty's the tree.
Rather,
Shawty is the tree.
No.
Yes, she's the tree and I'm the gift.
Oh Lord! Wow. And
I thought
humility.
the new was the gift.
Humility.
The new is the gift too. But we're twins, so our Wonder Twin powers activate. So when they activated, she became the tree and I became the gift.
That's
Duh.
old school. Wonder Twin powers activate.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. And we'll be voting later on to see who is your favorite ensemble. But before we do that, we're gonna get down with some good old fashioned Christmas apologetics. Right?
Shout out to Ashley Fox. Love you, baby.
Because a lot of us are, a lot of us feel a little, there's some of us who have issues with the holiday. And to be quite honest, I was once one of those people. I felt like it was pagan. It had nothing to do with God, and those who know me, like I actually made a stink about it in church. I talked to leadership about it. Like I was really like, I was that guy. But I kept studying, I kept researching, and my convictions changed based on the data that I came across. And I would like to share with you guys some of the stuff that I've seen that helped me pivot in how I view this and basically any holiday, to be honest with you. So actually, while I'm getting ready, you guys want to share your thoughts on just the Christmas season and how it relates to us as believers and stuff like that?
I used to have a problem with it, and then I took my pills.
Okay. Wasn't expecting that, but alrighty. Anyone else?
Yeah, I believe it was,
I just think
it was pagan. I hated it.
In growing up in the Bahamas, predominantly Christian nation, so Christmas was always a thing. In school, you had the Christmas play. We were Mary and Joseph, and the shepherds and all those things in school, like public school. The only people that I remember, I think as a child, saying it was pagan, I think were the Rastafarians, but everybody else was like the whole Christmas is pagan and all this stuff. Like that literally was saturated for me when I moved to America, because y'all did Christmas. Like we have Christmas Day and Boxing Day. We have John Canoe in the bomb. Like it's a big deal for us, you know?
Right. Anyone else?
I don't know. We always celebrated Christmas, and it was never. I don't know. Pagan is not the word that I would use. I'm pro.
It's pretty obvious that you're pro.
I'm pro Christmas, and we can talk about it.
And that we will talk about it. So, with that being said, that's a good segue. And as you know, in your timelines, it already happened. But if not, brace yourselves. The Christmas is a pagan holiday posts are coming, if they have not come down your timeline. So let's look at a few of those. Actually, this is a meme, but also a claim. Shawnee, could you read this real quick?
Wait, the notice or what's underneath the notice?
Underneath.
Oh, did you know Christmas was once banned by Christians in both England and America?
Right. So
professional Christmas one.
Very good. That was well done. Well done. So let's see if this is the case. And all you gotta do is go to Snoops to see if this is true. So first, Christmas was only ever illegal from 1959 until 1659 until 1681, and not thereafter. Secondly, the ban was limited to Massachusetts Bay Colony and never took hold throughout the United States, which was not even formed until almost a century after the Massachusetts ban had ended. Finally, 1836 was the year in which, according to some sources, the first U.S. state recognized Christmas Day as a public holiday. So right off the bat, the meme is wrong. It's like, yeah, it was banned, but in a small place. It wasn't, nationwide, because there wasn't a whole nation at the time. So, so right there, we shot that meme. That's been debunked. Took all of 2 seconds. But let's get into the nitty gritty, right? Let's get into the nitty gritty. Phil Fox, you want to read this meme for us?
Why I left Christianity? I left Christianity because I came to find much of what Christianity practices is rooted in paganism, and it is serving other gods, small g. I had to accept the reality. Christianity does not serve the big G God of the scriptures speak of.
Right. Good. Thank you. And all right, here's another one. Titus, could you read this one?
Celebrating a pagan holiday and claiming it honors the Messiah is like having an affair and claiming it honors your spouse.
That's very,
Wow.
Ooh.
That's a very stinging, provocative.
They got us now.
That was deep.
SOC, can you read this one?
Did God really say you can't partake of this tree either? It's interesting that in some countries they are called paradise trees. Coincidence? Seems like we keep falling for the same old lies.
Yeah, this was pretty unique. It's false, but I give it some credit for its creativity. Like that was kind of interesting.
They did all right with the Photoshop too. Not too bad.
Yeah.
Not too bad.
Yeah. Dana, can you read this one? Is she there?
Yes.
All right. Could you read that one? Can you see it? Do you see it?
Yeah.
Okay.
You want me to read the blue box or the scripture?
Yeah, read the blue box.
I know many of you will push against the fact that the Christmas tree is pagan, but remember, now that white box is something else now. I can't read the white box. It's too small.
All right,
Sorry.
so for nothing is concealed that won't be revealed, and nothing hidden that won't be made known and brought to light. All right. And here we have, I guess, a Hebrew woman about to kick over a Christmas tree because the Christmas tree is vile and wicked. All right. Who hasn't read it? Dean, can you read this one?
Dear Christians, our family would like to thank you for continuing all of our holiday traditions. Our Xmas tree, wreaths, Easter bunnies, and eggs still honor us. Your pagan gods, Baal, Ishtar,
Right.
and
That's an
Tammuz.
actual advertisement. Mm-hmm. So, and of course, we know this one all too well, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
In fact, our former Judaizer, can you do the honors?
Oh, yeah. So Jeremiah chapter 10, verses 2 through 4. This is what the Lord says. Do not learn the ways of the nations, for the customs of the peoples are worthless. They cut a tree out of the forest. They adorn it with silver and gold, and they fasten it with hammer and nails.
Yep. And here's another one. Same thing, right? Same scripture. Notice, though, when they do the whole Christmas tree is pagan, and they quote Jeremiah, notice how they stop at verse 4. Mm-hmm. There's a reason why they stop at verse 4. Now, I don't know if it's by design or, but there's a reason. And we're going to get into that right now. So, SOC, can you read the authentic King James version of that scripture?
We're actually going to read the whole scripture this time in context?
Yeah.
Okay. Jeremiah chapter 10, verses 2 through 4. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven. For the heathen are dismayed at them, for the customs of the people are vain. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workmen, with the axe. They deck it with silver and with gold. They fasten it with nails and with hammers, that it move not.
All right. Right now, the next verse. SOC, yes.
They are upright as the palm tree, but speak not. They must needs be born, because they cannot go. Be not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil. Neither also is it in them to do good.
Okay. The reason why they don't share verse 5 is because of this particular word, upright. Now, in the King James, you don't really get what's being said here in the King James. But when you look at it in the Hebrew, the word here is mikshah. Right? And it means hammered work only of metals. And it's used in several places in the Old Testament when it talks about the building of the cherubim in the tabernacle, the lampstand, and the clarions, which are the trumpets. So they're taking this tree and using it to make things. It's not the tree itself. They're using the tree as material to make things. So it is not a Christmas tree.
Hammered work.
Hammered work. No one. You see the two trees behind Dinu? Dinu, did you hammer those trees? Right? No. How about anybody else? You guys, Michelle, did you hammer your tree?
I picked it up from at home.
There you go.
I put it together. I did put my tree together, but there was no hammers involved.
Yeah, I put
There's
mine
no
together
metallurgy,
too.
right? Did you guys participate in any metallurgy? Did you,
Not that I recall.
No, I
Right,
just put the stuff on it too.
There was no welding. There was no hot furnace. No.
No. The pieces on the bottom get snapped in, and the tree stood up. There's no. I don't think there's any real metal on this tree. So yeah, no.
And I, O sunflower tree, I am handiwork of the Lord, the Most High. And I just bought this.
Yeah, no one put the hammer to you, right? So.
No, I just bought this too. So I don't know.
Here's this cornball joke here. Maybe Dinu got hammered while decorating. Ha ha ha.
That may or may not be true.
She didn't deny.
That may or may not be true.
It's a family show. It's a family show.
Can neither confirm nor deny.
But let's get a little deeper, though, right?
Okay.
Because also
deeper.
Yes, it gets deeper. So also in Jeremiah 10:5, it says, "But speak not; they must needs be born, because they cannot go." Why are they saying that it cannot speak? Because in the ancient Near East, idols had to be given the ability to speak, right? And we're going to look at a couple of paragraphs here, quotes from Cult Image and Divine Representation in the Ancient Near East, by Neil H. Walls. All right. Says here, in general, statues in ancient Egypt were places where a non-physical entity, a deity, the royal Ka spirit or the Ka spirits of the dead could manifest in this world. Statues provided physical bodies for these beings and allowed them to be recipients of ritual actions. In order for a statue to function in this way, it had to undergo the opening of the mouth ritual, which vitalized it and enabled it to house and the being in it represented. Statues, in fact, form part of a larger group of objects, including the physical bodies of deceased individuals that underwent this ritual. Living bodies could also house non-physical entities. Every living human body contained its Ka, the life force that animated. Sacred animals, such as the Apis bull, were places where deities could manifest. The human body of the king became the container for the royal Ka spirit, the divine element of kingship that passed from one legitimate king to the next. This is the opening of the mouth and eyes, generally abbreviated to opening of the mouth, is the ancient Egyptian title of a ritual attested from the Old Kingdom to the Roman period. In essence, it might be described as a consecration ritual for images in human form. It is known to have been performed on statues and from the New Kingdom about 1550 to 1069 BC at least. Coffins in the ritual, specially designed persons use special ritual tools to touch the mouth and eyes of the image to enable a spirit to receive food and drink, to breathe and to see. Sustenance and light are the two key aspects of life desired for the person for eternity. The ritual illustrates a concept of sculpture as birth, right? So when they took the trees and they used it with the metallurgy to create this idol, they also had to go and do this elaborate ceremony so that the god they worship would enter this particular idol. It wasn't, the pagans knew that the idols themselves were not the gods that they worship. They were symbolic, and they had to do a special ritual to invoke the spirit of the god into this particular container. The Mesopotamian gods need nourishment, drink, clothing, jewelry, cleansing, travel, music, perfume, and sex. All of this makes their presence in an anthropomorphic cult image more suitable and provides the premise for all ancient Near Eastern latria. That word we're going to look at later on, latria, which means worship. Okay. I know there's a lot, but you know how I get down. So this is from Astro Magic in Babylonia. All right. The most elaborate ritual performed at night with the appeal to the stars is the washing of the mouth. It deals with the all-important ceremony of breathing life into the statues of the gods, a process called psychosis in Greek. In Babylonia, the ceremony is called the opening of the mouth, which is preceded by the washing of the mouth of the divine statue. Divine statues, we know, were made of wood and overlaid with precious metals, right? Jeremiah, that's what Jeremiah is talking about, right? Usually gold incrustations of precious stones adorned them. Their fabrication was therefore placed under the tutelage of the patron god of carpenters, goldsmiths, and jewelers, right? That's why things had to be hammered out, because we had these guys doing that. Only after the inert materials were infused with breath through the mouth opening ceremony could the statue eat and drink the offerings and smell the incense, right? The vivification of the divine statue comprised several stages. The first stage, the first mouth washing, was conducted in the workshop. Then the statue was carried in procession to the riverbank, where a second mouth washing took place. The statue was first facing west, then facing east. Offerings were made to the 9 great gods, among whom are the major planetary gods, that is Sun, Moon, and Venus, then to the 9 patron gods of the craftsmen, then to other planets and to certain fixed stars and constellations, among them Sirius, Libra, the wagon, the goat, and the scorpion, and finally to the stars rising over the 3 paths along the eastern horizon. That is all the stars. Again, this is from Astro Magic in Babylonia by Erica Rayner. You know what? I'm going to skip this one. I'm going to skip this. All right. So, and I've shared this before, but I'm going to share it again. This is a commentary by Dr. Michael Heiser. He says, I heard Paper's book on polytheism called The Gods of Many. Jordan Paper is a practicing polytheist. He's retired now from teaching, but I still see him from time to time at SBL meetings. I know what he looks like. He's a practicing polytheist, and he was very transparent about his quote-unquote faith. This is a scholarly meeting. He's not holding anything back here. He says, basically, this only works if you solicit this kind of contact. It doesn't just happen. You have to want it. You have to do things to solicit it, and the powers. He would use these terms. The powers, the gods, the spirits will respond if you're open to their contact, to what they can do for you. And this was his faith. All right. The point here. Now, clearly, when Jeremiah was talking about this tree, he was talking about this process of creating this idol. And then once the idol is created, the painstaking process to vivify and animate this idol. Now, let me ask the panel before I continue this question. How serious did the pagans take their worship?
Oh, very serious.
Very seriously.
Very intentional as well.
Right.
Everything was intentional.
Everything had a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Right. We had to, you got to wash the mouth when it was being made. You had to wash it again by the river. We had to make sure these gods were praised, and then these gods were praised, and it was a very elongated, ceremony. Right? It's serious. It's serious business. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Let me see here. Hold on. Okay, there we go. What up, CMB?
What up, fam? What's going on? Can y'all see me?
Yeah. Yes, sir. I'm sorry about that. I can't see you when I'm sharing my slides, but I'm glad you're here.
No doubt, man. No doubt. Hope y'all doing good. Happy Sithmas to everybody. Happy Festivus and all that.
To Bible hacking, where that quote from Heiser come from? That's actually a transcript from one of his podcasts. It's called the Naked Bible Podcast, and a lot of his episodes come with transcripts. So if you look for, I think one of the episodes is about polytheism, and they actually have a written transcript of the podcast. So you can look for it there. All right. So, but yeah, I just want to stop here. So just to make that point, right? Pagans took their worship serious, right? It's like, all right. I just want to drill down on that point. So let's continue here. All right. Now, Exodus. Actually, SOC, if you could read this for us.
You shall not bow down to them or worship them, for I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God, punishing the children for the sin of the parents to the third and fourth generation of those that hate me.
Right. So the God of the Bible is very adamant about not worshiping anyone else but him. Mm-hmm. Right. It's very clear. The word here to bow down is shakar. Right. And then right next to it, I have various ways it's rendered throughout the Bible. One of the ways that strikes me is it's in homage to royalty or God. Mm-hmm. When you bow down, when you shakar, it's reverence, you beseeching, laying down flat. Right. That's what part of worship is. The other word here is abad, right? To work, to serve, to manufacture, to till, to become a slave to. All right. So again, right, shakar and abad. You cannot shakar and abad these other gods. You can only shakar and abad Yahweh. Mm-hmm. Right. Okay. So the question then, are Christians actively soliciting contact, abad and shakar, with other gods during Christmas? No. Is this the case?
Absolutely not.
Nope.
Not happening.
When someone puts a Christmas tree in the living room, are they actively soliciting Saturnalia?
Nope.
Right?
They're going to get corrected.
Absolutely not.
Harshly.
I get lottery numbers from my Christmas tree.
Oh boy, that hood elf is tricky.
I think he's hammered.
he's a hammered word.
Cup, Chris?
That's eggnog in a cup. Just saying.
Phil Foss, could you read this one?
Sure can. Romans 12:1. I appeal to you, therefore, brothers, by the mercies of God, to present your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable to God, which is your spiritual worship.
Now, the word worship in that verse is the word latreia, to render service, technical, priestly service, right? You're doing something. It's with intent. You know, the latreia in the ancient Near East, we've seen how severe and how painstaking the latreia is with the pagans. We went through a whole bunch of citations, right? They took their latreia serious. Should Christians take their worship serious?
Yep.
Very.
Right. But here's the thing. For people who claim that, you know, if you have a Christmas tree or if you participate in this holiday, that somehow you are committing a latreia to pagan gods. When someone makes this claim, what they are showing about themselves is that they have a very cheap sense of worship.
Yeah.
Because if all it takes for you to worship a pagan god was to put in a pine tree, then all it takes for you to be a Christian is to throw on a crucifix around your neck.
Yeah.
Now, of course, if I say that, it's like, well, I'm a Christian because I wear this chain. You'd be like, well, no, it's more than that. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. You have a cheap sense of worship. Oh, you got a Christmas tree. You're worshiping a pagan deity. That's actually an insult to the pagans.
No.
You see how hard they go for their gods.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's like, so you think that worship is just that? That's like being married, and when your wife says, "Hey, you haven't told me that you love me," it's like, well, I come home from work every night, so doesn't that tell you that I love you?
Well,
it's more engaging than that, is it not?
Yeah, and
being in a relationship.
And BK, here's another thing too.
Yes, sir.
Is, you know, for us, for my people culturally, when we worship, it is a 4-day literal torture. It's 4 days of, you know, many people participate in what's called the Sundance.
Right.
And they dance from sunup to sundown in the blazing heat of the summer without food and water. And they pierce themselves through the chest. And the holy men, they pierce their backs and they drag numbers and numbers of buffalo skulls on the ground that dig into the ground, and it's torture. And they do all this for Creator. It's for their God.
Right.
So that equating a Christmas tree in your living room that you pack up on the 26th or 27th of December, or you just take it and toss it into the garbage if it's an actual live tree. I mean, again, so that speaks to how low or how your worship or your claim, that's pretty surface level. When you know, one of the beauties and one of the things of Native American culture is that it is so archaic. It is very it is still very ancient in its ideas. And so looking at those things and understanding that, look, these people it was more than just that. Even just to create it was blood, sweat, and tears. Their idol. Mm-hmm. To create that idol, it literally, I mean, their hands would probably be scarred and you know, have calloused and they would sweat. I mean, these things were heavy in labor just to even create one simple idol. And so, and the same is when because even just the creation of the arena that the native people dance in takes a tremendous amount of work, because they build it from scratch. They build it from the ground up just to have this ceremony. And so, and it's more than that. And it's even throughout the year. So again, like looking at this idea of, oh my goodness, you know, you're worshiping this tree. Like, it shows and it tells, and you don't have a clear understanding of what worship really is. Because even though, yes, my native people and their ways, it would be considered pagan ways, because they are not worshiping Christ in the true God. And I know that's going to sound controversial to any native people that are listening, but that's the truth. And so we need to understand that, and that's something that we could pull that is happening modern day. Where sometimes people compartmentalize, he's all these old pagan deities and things, they don't really exist anymore. But no, this is a modern day example of them, because they literally erect a tree in the middle and they dance around this tree, and that's the tree of life. And they create this entire arena for people to dance around. Right. So it is a modern day example of what idol worship looks like. So
that was a great telling. Yeah, but again, that shows intent and purpose, passion, foresight, preparation. It's a thing. It's an actual thing. So when people talk about this Christmas tree is pagan, then I question your understanding of Latreia. Like, do you really understand what Latreia is? Do you, and I'll even go further than that. Your ability to engage, period, I now question. Because if you think all it takes is to put a wreath to engage a deity, then is that how you walk with your God? As a Christian? I just show up to church, so I'm good. You think that's worship?
Yeah,
I have a Bible in my library. I don't open it, but it's in my library. That's worship to you? I'm saying. So anyone else want to share before we continue?
Yeah, I wanted to touch on that there, brother. We're getting the whole terminology of worship wrong. Just like you're saying, Phil and BK, this is the thing that people get messed up. Even the English term worship comes from an old English compound word of worthship, right? So you're talking about the worthiness of that thing that you're worshiping, right? And that's part of the thing that we're talking about here. Like you said, like what Phil was saying, if you pack it up in a box and throw it in the attic, or whatever, like plastic trees or anything like that, throw it in Tupperware. That is not reverencing whatever you think, whatever it is that you're doing, right? There's no possible way that this thing is worship in any sense of the matter. So not from a pagan standpoint, not from a cultural standpoint as Americans, not from an English standpoint at all. It is not that. It just ain't, So that's one of those things that we have to be recognizing. As far as that goes, it's not worthship, because there is no worth to this thing.
Right.
Yeah. And then stop me, BK, if you think, or if I'm getting ahead, contextualizing the gospel in itself. Is that something that you're going to get into later on?
No, you go ahead.
Okay. So, I mean, I was thinking as I was sort of looking at points and just sort of trying to gather my thoughts before the show. I mean, we want to take all these things and say, oh, well, they're pagan, and so therefore you can't contextualize it in any way. So, I mean, what you're saying then is that this drum behind me, I can't use that. I can't use it in any shape, any form, any way, shape, or form to honor the Lord, because that in its exact purpose, it's pagan. The dresses and the dances that we do, you're telling me that we cannot, as Native Americans, as people, as using our culture, because it's pagan in nature, because it does not originate in Christ. So what you're saying then is, therefore, I cannot use any piece of my culture. So we can't use the dance, the songs, any of that stuff, because if you are saying that if it's in pagan in origin, and therefore we have to throw it away, then there's really nothing that we can use to contextualize the gospel. There is no contextualization of the gospel then. None. So if you are doing anything like, and some of the stuff like we've even said before, days of the week, the months, those all have pagan origin.
Right.
So
actually, we will be drilling down on that.
So yeah. So, but again, any of that stuff. So that's what you're telling me. If you're saying Christmas trees and whatever else, any of that stuff, then you're telling me that there's no way to contextualize, and you therefore are heavily entrenched in the doctrine of discovery that we're going to be getting into.
I like what you did there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we just dealt with the theology, right? Now let's look at these dates. All right, let's get into some chronology here. Michelle, could you read this for us?
Yes, I can. Dies Natalis Solis Invictus, translated as is the birthday of the unconquerable sun. It was celebrated on December 25th in 354 AD, according to the calendar of Philicalis. The calendar of Philicalis, Inscriptionis Latinae, into Quesame, Berlin, 1893, page 256 to 278, the chronography of 354 AD, transcribed by Roger Pierce.
All right, so this is the date that they say that the Christians ripped off from the pagans. It's like we worship December 25th because we low-key worship the sun. Now, I want you to look at the date, right? December 25th, 354 AD. Mm-hmm. All right? When translating Hippolytus' commentary on Daniel, written probably between 202 to 11 AD, Schmidt notes that 5 of the 7 manuscripts contain December 25th as the date for Jesus' birth, and another offers the 25th of either December or March. Okay, now remember, so the Sol Invictus, 354, right? 4th century. Mm-hmm. Right? This commentary was written in the 3rd century. So who came up with December 25th first? Saying. Mm-hmm. And this is early 3rd century.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Early 3rd century. So you almost have a whole century prior to this idea of Sol Invictus. Oh, and by the way, they're already worshiping the sun god in different months. Right. They decided they built a new temple, and for that new temple, they dedicated it December 25th. And some historians actually believe that it was that emperor who bit off the Christians, because by the 4th century, Christianity is popping. So to take some of that energy, he decided to take December 25th. So who's copying who? Right? So, but why December 25th though? Right? We still need to know that. So there was a belief within the early church that the date of the death of Jesus would also reflect his birth or his conception. They go into detail in this book, The Origins of the Liturgical Year by Thomas J. Talley. So it had nothing to do with sun. It had to do with how they date the death and the birth of Jesus. Around 200 CE, Tertullian of Carthage reported the calculation that the 14th of Nisan, the day of the crucifixion, according to the Gospel of John, in the year Jesus died was equivalent to March 25th in the Roman solar calendar. March 25th is, of course, 9 months before December 25th. It was later recognized as the Feast of Annunciation, the commemoration of Jesus' conception. Thus, Jesus was believed to have been conceived and crucified on the same day of the year. Exactly 9 months later, Jesus was born on December 25th. This is from Tertullian at Versus Ideos 8. Right? This idea appears in an anonymous Christian treatise titled On Solstice and Equinoxes, which appears to come from the 4th century North Africa. The treatise states, therefore, our Lord was conceived on the 8th of the Kalends of April in the month of March, March 25th, which is the day of the passion of the Lord and of his conception. For on that day, he was conceived on the same he suffered. Based on this, the treatise dates Jesus' birth to the winter solstice. In the book Christmas in the Crosshairs, 2,000 Years of Denouncing and Defending the World's Most Celebrated Holiday, it says here, for whatever reason, the Roman Church chose December 25th as the date on which to celebrate the Nativity. It was a momentous decision that would cause centuries of controversy and conflict. The first problem was that other Christian churches in the empire had settled on another date in which to mark Christmas, January 6th, or Epiphany. The term means manifestation. And the January 6th date celebrated not only the birth of Jesus, as his first earthly appearance, but also the arrival of the Magi, the manifestation to the Gentile world, his first miracle at the wedding in Cana, and his baptism as an adult in the Jordan River when his divinity was publicly proclaimed from on high. Now, if you're Latin America, we give gifts on January 6th, not December 25th. It's Three Kings Day.
Mhm.
So there's still, even today, there's still a split between the 25th and the 6th. But it's about chronological dating. It has nothing to do with sun worship. To continue, it is true that this date was originally chosen by radically dissident Christian groups such as the Basilians and the Marcionites, clearly people not to be listened to, but official church of the great cities in the East, including Constantinople, Jerusalem, and Antioch, also has established a January tradition based, it seems, on the calculation of a different date for Easter. From then on, the battle was to persuade Easterners that December 25th was the correct date. So this was a big deal in Christendom at the time. They were like fighting and debating which date they should go because of the calculations of the calendars they were using. It had nothing to do with sun worship because this preceded Sol Invictus. It had nothing to do with that. So before we continue, any thoughts and questions about that? Before we get into it.
I think what's hilarious is that the loudest groups that have so much issues with Christmas, you start looking at their theology and it's all jacked up. It's kind of like, okay, you have the Hebrew Israelites, you have SDA, you got
Jehovah's Witnesses.
I mean, if you start looking at a lot of the groups that take so much issue with the celebration of Christmas, on the list of things that's wrong with your theology, this is like it's just going along with the pattern, and it just shows again how one context kills false doctrine, and the fact that you got to do I'm gonna use this term. You got to do real research into these fanatical claims to see if they make any sense. And you have people denying themselves the ability to celebrate. Even Christians, you see them buying into these ideas and refusing to even celebrate and acknowledge what the real meaning of the season is about, which is the advent of our Messiah. That is good news. We should be joyous in celebrating that. That is the good news. And so it's just, I'm so happy for this show. I'm so happy for this information because you truly are saving Christmas for a lot of people who've been guilted into not celebrating the good news of the Messiah for all of this craziness.
Right. It's funny. CMB put up, but the two Babylon said, man, I read that joint, man. I was into it. I'm not gonna lie, but you know what? I kept reading and kept researching. In fact, the guy who wrote, I think, the two Babylons, he recanted the book.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he recanted the book. Yes.
I just want to add as well.
Sorry.
Oh, is someone talking? Me. I'm talking. I just wanted to add as well that, people for some odd reason think that Christians celebrate the birthday of Jesus. We don't celebrate the birthday of Jesus. We celebrate the birth of Jesus. Those are two vastly different things. And you can celebrate the birth of Jesus any day of the year. That's why we do it, because we ought to be worshiping Jesus every day of the year.
It's funny. Saved until Miss Titus 2 steals it. Bars by the Caribbean. Absolutely. But we're not done yet because, people are like, okay, the Christmas tree, but what about that, what about that Yule log, huh? What about that? That's pagan, huh? All right, let's get into it. Right? And this is from the Oxford Dictionary of English Folklore. And the entry is Yule. This word, in various spellings, means a loosely defined midwinter period, not a single day. In the early languages of most Germanic and Scandinavian countries, Bede, writing of pagan England, mentions 2 months, early Yule and later Yule. corresponding to Roman December and January. So the etymology of this word, the word was originally used to show you a particular part of time in the calendar, specifically Roman December and January. Now, they are Germanic and Scandinavian deities that use the word Yule. But the reason why they use that word is because they manifest themselves during this period. Now, you can do a whole lot of pagan stuff between December and January, but it doesn't mean that the time between December and January itself is pagan. Right? You got to think this through. You know, imagine someone saying, you know, every day from the hours of 2 to 6 is pagan. You'd be like, no, it's not. Exactly. Time itself is not intrinsically bad or good. It's what you do with that time is bad or good. So Yule just means midwinter. That's what the word means, right? Just to get that going. Now, the first mention of the Yule log is in Robert Herrick's Hepides poetry collection, number 784, but he calls it a Christmas log. So the first time we hear anything about a log, it's still not even called a Yule log yet. It's a Christmas log. And in fact, here's the poem, right? It's called Ceremonies for Christmas. Come, bring with a noise, my merry, merry boys, the Christmas log to the firing. While my good dame, she bids ye all be free and drink to your heart's desiring. With the last year's brand, light the new block, and for good success in the spending, all your paltries play that sweet luck may come while the log is attending. Drink now the strong beer, cut the white loaf here, the while the meat is a shredding. For the rare mince pie and the plum stand by to clear the paste that's a kneading, right? So he calls it a Christmas log. It's not even called a Yule log yet, right? The Yule log or clog or Christmas block is mentioned in folklore collections from most parts of England, but especially the West Country and the North. It would be the largest piece of wood which could fit in the family hearth and was usually brought in on Christmas Eve with some ceremony and put on the fire that evening. Many writers, including Herrick, say it was kindled with a fragment kept from the previous year's log. In fact, he says that in his poem. It was also generally believed that it would be very unlucky for the family if the log was allowed to go on Christmas Day. It is not clear when the custom arose, since the first definite references are only from the 17th century. I'm going to say that again. It is not clear when the custom arose, since the first definite references are only from the 17th century. For example, Aubrey's and the West Riding of Yorkshire on Christmas Eve at night, they bring a large Yule log or Christmas block and set it on fire and lap their Christmas ale and sing Yule, Yule, a pack of new cards and a Christmas stool. Again, this is from the Oxford Dictionary of English Folklore. There's no evidence of this being some ancient pagan rites. Historians don't know how it transpired. And when it did, it was 17th century. Right? Because ancient history is from basically pre-dynastic Egypt to the fall of Rome. That's ancient history. Right. This is 17th century. This wasn't that long ago, guys. So this idea that the Yule log is pagan, there's no real evidence for that at all.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is after Columbus discovered America.
While Phil's family was here chilling.
You know what I mean? Discovery, right. But listen, we're not done. Let's talk about that mistletoe now. Let's talk about that mistletoe, because that's pagan, right? So again, we're going to reference the Oxford Dictionary of English Folklore. Mistletoe. The reputation of mistletoe was created by Pliny in his Natural History, AD 77. He wrote that in Gaul, the Druids thought it's sacred if it grew on an oak, which it rarely does. They believed it protected against injury by fire or water, made farm animals and women fertile, was an antidote to poison, and cured epilepsy. Virtually every herbalist and folklorist to mention mistletoe from the 16th century to the present has repeated this information, assuming it to be equally true of ancient Britons. Many also claim it as the origin a very different English custom of using mistletoe as Christmas decoration. Yet, it is not until 1648 that mistletoe is first listed by Herrick in Parodies number 893 among the many evergreens decked churches and homes at Christmas, whereas holly and ivy are well attested in the Middle Ages. In 1656, William Coles noted in The Art of Simpling that it was carried many miles to set up in houses about Christmas time. It became important in the late 18th century as part, soon the most valued part, of the elaborate kissing balls bushes hung up in the farmhouses and kitchens. Right? 17th century, 18th century. It was decoration. It wasn't just mistletoe. It was all sorts of different evergreens, holly, ivy, right? This is not ancient pagan ritual. This is, 17th century, guys, 18th century. All right? What about that wreath, though? Huh? That wreath gotta be pagan, fam.
Gotcha.
Right? Fake news. In the book, A History of Latin Literature, wreaths are worn as crowns by the Etruscan rulers. The Etruscan symbolism continued to be used in ancient Greece and Rome. Roman magistrates also wore golden wreaths as crowns as a symbolic testament to their lineage back to Rome's early Etruscan rulers. Roman magistrates also used several prominent Etruscan symbols in addition to a golden wreath, crown, fasces, a curule chair, a purple toga, and ivory rod. Okay. Olive wreath was the prize for the winner at the ancient Olympic Games. Most of us already knew that, right? So when you saw someone wearing a wreath, it meant kingship, rulership, elitism. You was a winner, right? That's why many of the gladiators, many of the leaders, many of the Greco-Roman gods wore wreaths because it denoted, divinity, rulership. You was a winner. So with that understanding, when a Christian put a wreath in front of his door, what was the messaging he was giving, or she? Who does the Christian think is the ruler?
Jesus is king.
Jesus is king.
Hashtag King Jesus gospel. Let's go.
Okay.
Hashtag Jesus.
Shout out to Detroit.
Who do the Christians think is the winner?
Jesus.
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 But you know who else is the winner? Watch this. Look what Paul says. SOC, can you read this for us?
Do you not know that in a race all the runners run, but only one receives the prize? So run that you may obtain it. Every athlete exercises self-control in all things. They do it to receive a perishable wreath, but we an imperishable.
Why would Paul incite the church to run for an imperishable wreath if the wreath was intrinsically evil?
I wonder.
Bars.
I wonder if he was using what they understood to convey a message and called contextualizing the gospel. Just curious. Acts 17, anyone?
SOC, if I had a mustache, I'd be twirling it right
now. But look, but how deep is that though? Because, right?
You can't touch this.
Like you said, they contextualized. They understood what the wreath meant. It was an ancient understanding of rulership, of being the winner, that you've conquered. Paul says, that's us. That's us. These dudes are, yes, you, Mr. Phil Fox. That's us.
That pose kills me every time, man.
That's us. We're the winners. Paul says these dudes, they're doing all this for these wreaths that's going to just, deconstruct through time. Our wreath is imperishable. That's what we're running for. That's what we're striving for. An imperishable wreath. Because you know why? Because we're going to win. In fact, we're winners now.
That's right.
But when Christ comes, that's when we get to be in the winner's circle. and we're wearing crowns. You know why? Rule with Christ and be part of his divine counsel. So the wreath is pagan, though, right? The wreath is pagan. No, I mean, it can be used for pagan purposes, but look how Paul uses it. He encourages and inspires the church to strive to do what you can to get this imperishable wreath.
That's my dog. That's my dog. That's my dog.
Thoughts and questions.
Oh, you killed it, bro. I mean, what more is there to be said?
Oh, there's more.
Oh, lots more. There's more.
Oh, there's more. Oh my gosh, there's so much more.
But wait, there's more.
Yes. So
If you guys want a shirt with a wreath on it, by the way, I have one. Where it says Jesus is Lord with a golden wreath. Just saying. Just saying.
So the wreath for the Christian means that Christ is king and we're going to be with him as co-rulers.
Amen.
That's very inspiring. So anyway, Dean, could you read this for us?
Romans 14:13. Therefore, let us not pass judgment on one another any longer, but rather decide never to put a stumbling block or hindrance in the way of a brother.
Right. Now, of course, we know that this passage is talking about disputable matters, right? And the word stumbling block here in the Strong's Concordance is pros coma. Right? It's a definition of stumbling, an occasion for stumbling, or to furnish one an occasion for sinning. So basically what was happening here, and they were talking about food being sacrificed to idols. You know, there were some Christians that said, well, because I believe in God, I will never eat food designated for idols. But there were other Christians that said, well, it's because I also believe in God that I can eat it because those gods mean nothing to me. Right? Neither one of them was wrong. The issue, though, was one faction would try to tell the other faction that they were wrong. They were trying to furnish an occasion for sin for the other Christians. They were trying to put sin on somebody. Right? It's actually the word, right? It's also where we get the word scandal from. So they were participating in scandalous behavior by trying to throw a sin on someone that didn't exist. You know, because we have Christians that will say that if you participate in Christmas, you're in sin. They are furnishing an occasion for sinning on you when they do that. And we are not to do that. You can have your own private conviction. Look, I'm still not a big Christmas dude, though I will take, gifts at any time. Someone put up my PayPal, I'll definitely take money. You know what I mean? It's a gift if you want, but I'm not going to look at someone and look down at another believer if they're really big on Christmas. They got the Christmas tree and the wreaths, because I know better. It's more of a stylistic thing. It's not my style. You know what I mean? So, but I'm not going to furnish an occasion of sinning on someone when there is no sin to furnish to begin with.
Amen.
Right? So you can have your private convictions. That's fine. But when you press your convictions on someone else, you're furnishing an occasion for sin. Any questions, thoughts about that?
No, shout out to Nate2D2 for putting up your PayPal as soon as you said it.
Oh, Nate's on it, man. Nate's on it, no doubt. But let's keep going, man. It's this. I'm giving out work today.
Yeah,
I'm giving out work today. Michelle, Ashley, could you read this for us, please?
Maximus, Bishop of Ternat, proclaimed, "You well know what joy and what a gathering there is when the birth of the emperor of this world is to be celebrated. How his generals and princes and soldiers, arrayed in silk garments and girt with precious belts worked with shining gold, seek to enter their king's presence in more brilliant fashion than usual. If therefore, brethren, those of this world celebrate the birthday of an earthly king with such an outlay for the sake of the glory of the present Thonor, with what solicitude ought we to celebrate the birthday of our eternal King Jesus Christ, who in return for our devotion will bestow on us not temporal but eternal glory.
Mm-hmm.
So this bishop back then was like, listen, if they can celebrate their king, we can celebrate ours. So this bishop saw Christmas as an act of sedition. It was a revolutionary act for him. It was shots fired. Christmas was shots fired. Because Caesar is not Lord. Jesus is Lord. Jesus is king. And while you do your pomp and circumstance for that false king, we're going to celebrate the real King of Kings and Lord of Lords over here. We're going to have a good time celebrating the real king.
That's right.
So that's how they saw Christmas. They saw it as an act of sedition. It was a revolutionary act.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I thought that was pretty dope. So now, and Phil was talking about this a little bit earlier. If we're gonna say, right, well, the pagans, because we have to really be more critical in our thinking. Because when we say, well, you know, a pagan uses a pine tree, therefore we can't use it. So this amazing, beautiful thing that God created is off limits to the servants of that God. So I'm going to respect the pagan. The pagan used the tree, so I can't use that tree. Is that what we're saying? Because if we're going to do that, there's some other things that we can't use either, then, because pagans use it. Here's a website called Week of Living, and it talks about the spiritual and magical associations of the element of water. It represents the goddess deity. The energy of water is receptive and feminine. You use it in a Western direction. You use a chalice or a cauldron. The colors are blue, green, indigo, black. The season is autumn. Zodiac signs, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Magical uses. In a black bowl, water can be used for skyring. Water is a base ingredient for most magical teas and potions and used in various forms of spell work. Well, that settles it. We can't drink water anymore, guys.
Yep.
You see how absurd that is?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and in the native culture, we call water first medicine. So can't use it.
Right. No water for you guys. But let's keep going though. Right? Here's an advertisement for divination organic loose leaf tea. This beautiful tea is full of flavor and aroma, made to help open your mind's eye as you receive messages from the other world, ancestors, and beyond. Enjoy a cup as part of your next card or next psychic intuitive reading. When muddled, this blend is ideal for tassomancy.
Oh, wow.
But we can't drink tea then. No tea for you Christians.
Nope.
For you Caribbean Christians, no more tea for you.
Johnny likes
You better get on your Ellen G. White. Don't drink no tea.
Yes, it's going to be a huge problem for me. Bam.
Here's another website.
Johnny likes
Collected Witchcraft. It lists different other things that we tend to use, but they use it for their spell casting. Like, I don't know, beef. The elemental associations, fire, earth. Ruling planets, the female cows, the moon, male cows, the sun, the deities that represent beef, Hathor, Isis, magical properties, excitable energy, power, fertility, blissful energy, aggressive energy. Beef tongue is used in spells to control what someone says and stop gossip. You can't eat beef, guys. The pagans beat us to it. No beef. That hamburger, put it down, Phil. Put it down. Worshipping Hathor every time you have that water.
What? Was that a chubby joke? Was that a chubby joke?
Terrible.
I know how beef with BK for messing with Phil.
What about butter? How many of us like butter?
Oh man, I can't believe it's not butter.
I put butter on steak today.
Stressful relations, increasing tenacity, helping with life, changes, increasing spirituality, helps to connect with deities, makes spells more nurturing and healing, commonly used offering for deities and the fae. No butter, guys.
They better not be on keto.
Yeah, right.
Can't have no
butter,
meat.
Look, butter make it taste better. Butter make it taste
And it
better.
also connects you to the deities.
Butter make it taste better. Get out of here with that.
Chicken. Chicken. Who likes chicken? Who likes chicken?
Now this is where I draw
not
the
the
line.
yard
Now
bird.
this is where I draw the line right
You
here.
just
Y'all
took
can
out
have
all the
the butter.
Hispanics, homie.
Y'all can have the beef. Y'all can have all of that. But chicken, now I draw the line here. I get that.
Represents the sunrise, sacrifice to Roman gods, healing, restorative properties, divination with the bones. The bones could be added to money drawing spells or luck spells.
I do like money, so I mean.
Wow, see, look at that.
Hey,
How about cheese? You like cheese?
I love
It has
cheese.
to do without that. Get the chicken.
Raising vibrations, adds positive energy, success, happiness. No cheese, no chicken, no boil. That's it.
Mm-mm-mm.
No chicken wings, no chicken nuggets, none of that.
No Chick-fil-A.
No Chick-fil-A, none. No Chick-fil-A.
It's blasphemous.
I do love chicken.
Now, so when people, right? So when people, but let's say there is, let's say I'm wrong somehow, right? I missed something. There is some elements of the holiday that have pagan origins, right? Well, I will say that you're being fallacious. And then you might wonder, well, what does that mean? Well, I'm glad you asked. A fallacy is the use of invalid or otherwise faulty reasoning or wrong moves in the construction of an argument. A fallacious argument may be deceptive by appearing to be better than it really is. Some fallacies are committed intentionally to manipulate or persuade by deception, where others are committed unintentionally due to carelessness or ignorance. The soundness of legal arguments depends on the context in which the arguments are made. So when people say if there is elements of Christmas that's pagan and that's why we can't do it, the fallacy that's being committed is the genetic fallacy. The genetic fallacy is a fallacy of irrelevance that is based solely on someone's or something's history, origin, or source rather than its current meaning or context. This overlooks any differences to be found in the present situation, typically transferring the positive or negative esteem from the earlier context. So even if Christian was straight up pagan back in the day, are Christians participating in pagan worship in Latvia today in Christmas?
Man, this speaks to the whole point of the message throughout all of Scripture. God is not after our deeds, he's after our heart. I mean, if your heart is not worshiping these things, your deeds are not the things that save you. These things, you're not putting your faith in these things. It's about Christ and his message. It's not about you can't eat chicken, can't be on keto, all that. And it's just it's bewildering that we put our faith in such small things and we have such a great God, and we just choose to follow and because these are all, I think it was Shawnee that said it earlier. These are all the people that are trying to do works-based righteousness type stuff, and yet they accuse us of similar. It's just wild.
Absolutely. So again, right? Just because something could have came from a evil quote unquote source doesn't mean that it is evil, right? Because 2 + 2 = 4, even when Hitler says it. Okay. So now, right? But let's say, well, if it's from pagan origin, I don't care. If you use it for good now, it started bad, it's still bad. Right? Cool. Let's keep that same energy. Right?
Got him.
Keep that same energy, because Starbucks coffee is a well-known global brand of the coffee chain. If you notice carefully, the logo used by Starbucks is the twin-tailed siren from Greek mythology. According to the tales of Greek mythology, the twin-tailed sirens were dangerous but beautiful sea creatures. They use their beauty and melody to entice and seduce seamen and sailors into death traps. No more Starbucks coffee for you, buddy. That's a wrap.
Coffee, no frappuccinos, none of
that.
Just
No frappuccino, none. Keep that same energy.
No pink drinks.
And don't go in there to use their Wi-Fi neither.
Facts.
There you go.
I see it.
A lot of us like our Jordans, right? We like our Jordan 3s when the new comes out. We can't wait. Word. Nike,
Mamba.
global brand sports shoe. Its logo design is a simple switch design, which is one of the most recognizable business symbols today. May look simple, but it's actually a great logo. The switch concept is derived from the wing of the Greek goddess of victory. No more J's for you, fam. That's it.
Guess they'll have a Nike burning ceremony like the Cleveland.
Or anything associated with Nike.
Right. No, your Nike sweatsuit, your Nike headband, gone.
You be burning them.
Size 13, we can send them this way.
Ajax.
Oh, wait a minute. You just shut down the whole Caribbean.
Ajax is a household cleaning product by the Colgate-Palmolive Company. This product is available in both powder and liquid form to be used on household and kitchen services. Also available as a dish detergent. The Colgate-Palmolive Company decided to have it named as Ajax because the Greek mythological figure was a mighty warrior who, quote unquote, cleaned up in battle. He needed no assistance from the gods, meaning that Ajax cleanser products are capable of cleaning up in the household without assistance from any other products.
Damn.
Yep.
So that means you cannot set your tub to bake when you clean the bathroom. I'm just trying to.
And you can't get on your knees to scrub the tub
because
now
that is
you're
a form of a
worshiping.
prayer.
Now you're worshiping because you got to get down on your knees.
Yep.
There you go.
The NBC Peacock logo.
Well,
One of the popular logos that was derived from Greek mythology. And the colorful logo was a peacock in the center. The origin of the story centers around the Greek goddess Hera. Hera was the wife of the god of the thunder Zeus. She had 100 eyes, which then symbolized into peacock's feathers, which also means that Zeus had the knowledge of seeing and knowing all. So if you watch anything in NBC, you are participating in the goddess.
All right.
So I can't drink world reruns, guys. Sorry.
I can't drink coffee and I can't have a clean tub, and now I can't watch no Fresh Prince.
No,
right.
It was either time. No, none of that either.
You like your Saturn cars?
And I can't go nowhere.
I hope not, because apart from being one of the planets in our system, Saturn, which is the name of a car company in today's world, was the Roman name for Cronus, who was the father of Zeus. You got a Saturn car? Ditch it.
Abstain from all appearance of evil.
Ladies, Gillette Venus Skin Elixir, sensitive and smooth. Venus is another name that got changed from Aphrodite once the Romans took over the Greek mythology. Today, Venus is a very popular and famous personal beauty product for women. So ladies, when you try to get your smooth legs, you are involved in attire with Venus.
Yeah. Pagan worshippers.
And Amazon. Who orders from Amazon?
Okay, now I draw the line here.
Who orders from Amazon?
I drew the line on chicken. No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Got a package today.
The Amazon.
Send it back.
Nation of warrior women descended from Ares, the god of war.
There's gonna be war. They try to get rid of Amazon. That's all I'm saying. I know he wants $2 billion, but all I'm saying is Amazon can't go. Look, you can do what you want with the other one.
I'm saying though.
And we use Palm not Ajax. Don't really make me no difference. What I'm saying is no to the Amazon. I got a lot of things going out, a lot of things coming in. I need my Amazon. I need my Prime. I need all of that. I can't be running around here.
And you must need to worship. You need to worship these other guys.
Okay, Michelle.
Sorry. I like being a woman.
Michelle, are you keeping chicken or are you keeping Amazon? That's the question we all want to know.
I'm keeping them both. Amazon got Amazon Pantry, and you can get chicken from there. All I'm saying, you can get chicken from Amazon Pantry. We're not getting rid of Amazon.
I don't.
Unrepentant.
Let me just
but it's
make
pagan,
it sweeter for you.
Pagan
Not
idolatry.
only the people who order from Amazon, if you work for Amazon, and that's any part of Amazon, and also if you try to sell your little books and your pamphlets on Amazon too.
That's you, SOC.
SOC.
Yeah, can we get your book in Amazon SOC? Look at that.
Yes. Yes,
That's the only place
That
it's
same
available.
energy.
It's sold on
And the way
Amazon.
the postal service been going, Amazon the
So
only.
in order to get a commentary on the Bible, you have to go through
Christianbook.com. That's
born
easy.
from gods.
And Amazon actually started as a book company. They didn't start off with what they're doing. They started off as selling books. All I'm saying is we're going to keep Amazon. Y'all can say what y'all want by everybody else. They sound dry, no Saturn. We use comment.
Listen,
I don't watch
I ain't
TV.
done yet.
I'm just saying.
I ain't done yet because
You keep
what
it
about the
Amazon.
week?
Oh,
What about the week?
Oh man.
Just gonna call it day one. When I was in high school,
day one, day
go by
two.
Monday and Wednesday, we went by days. So whatever day, like let's just say you had a holiday or a hurricane or something came and you couldn't go to school, the last day you ended on, you started back on the next day. So it'd be day 1, day 2, day 3.
I'm fine with that too.
It'd be day 1.
I'm gonna be nice this time. I'm gonna allow you to choose which list of gods you're gonna worship during the week. You got the Babylonians and you got the Roman gods. Which one do you like?
I'm going for Thursday.
Sin, Nagro, Nabu, Murder, Ishtar, Naruta. Which one?
I'll take Jupiter for 300.
Right? But how about the months though? January, Janus, Roman god, presides over doors and beginnings. March, god of war. May, Mia, god is associated with Vulcan and Mercury, worship on May 1st and May 15th. Juno, wife of Jupiter, the most important goddess of the Roman state. July, Julius Caesar, deified Roman general. August, Augustus Caesar, self-proclaimed the son of God, deified. Got to throw away them calendars.
All of them.
So but again, right, if you think critically, right, and you walk these assertions down to the most logical conclusions, it's absurd. No one's worshiping a tree. No one's worshiping a wreath. No one's worshiping mistletoe. In fact, these things have no connection to any pagan ritual anyway. In fact, Christmas predates the worship of Sol Invictus. So if anything, the pagans are biting off of us. And if you still insist that, well, it must be pagan back then, so it's pagan now, then I need to get rid of all those things that we quoted. And there's more stuff. That was light.
Oh, there's more. Oh, there's more.
You get really, really deep and really, really start to show some things that would have their eyes probably rolling to the back of their head. I'm just saying, if you want to go down this path or this argument of you can't use it because it's pagan.
Just saying, but we have to be thinkers, right? When people make these claims, we have to well, how does this look? Let's walk it down. Let's really see,
Yep.
So on a much lighter note, Jupiter and Saturn's closest alignment in 800 years will create an actual Christmas star. This very rough year will end on a high note, astronomically speaking. On December 21st, Jupiter and Saturn will cross paths in the night sky, making for a fairly spectacular sight just ahead of Christmas. This only happens every 20 years, so it's pretty rare as is, but this particular event will be the closest these two planets have been from our vantage point in 800 years. Not since the Middle Ages has humanity gotten such a good angle of this conjunction. Just thought that was cute.
That's cool.
That was cute. But now let's get into the shenanigans.
Shenanigans.
The list of the best Christmas movies ever according to Rotten Tomatoes.
There we go.
All right. Now, I need the people in the chat, before we get into the list, and my illustrious guests, what are some of the most famous, most popular Christmas movies that you guys can think of?
Home
The
Alone.
Grinch.
Reindeer.
A Christmas
with the
Story.
Prince. Yes.
Yeah, Christmas story.
Okay.
I
Oh,
like
shoot
that
your
movie.
eye out.
This Christmas.
Oh yeah, my wife likes that one.
It's still
That's
one.
my
Yeah.
favorite.
You can go all the way to that one. You know, you can say it. You're on the panel. You know, you can say it. You can say the words. You don't have to type them. You're right here. Just say them. I don't know what's going on. So when you type stuff and you're on the panel, that's pagan. That's all I'm saying.
The Santa Claus.
All right. Home Alone. It's a Wonderful Life. All right.
Elf, man.
Oh, it's a
Elf.
wonderful life.
You ever said Elf yet?
Christmas Street.
I haven't even seen Elf. Imagine that.
All right.
What?
I haven't seen it. I
Wow.
want to
It's
watch
great.
It's Christmas with Chris Brown. All right,
Die Hard.
you. All right, but let's
Die
check out
Hard
the
is
list.
a Christmas movie.
Let's check out the list. All right, so number 20, Little Women. Then you got
What?
Edward Scissorhands.
I agree. That's a dope movie.
Close.
Edison's Hands was really good.
Jingle Jangle.
Yup. Jingle Jangle was bomb.
That
That
was
was good.
amazing.
That was
good.
Jingle was amazing.
I gotta watch that.
David and Talbot.
That was one of my favorites. I love that growing up watching that.
Mm-hmm.
I do
Even though it's a foul thing, right? When you start thinking about certain things. So let me rant real quick. It's foul, right? Because here's Rudolph, because he has this red nose. No one likes it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they consider him handicapped until they find a use for it.
Mm.
All of a sudden, he's the guy. We like him now.
Mm-hmm.
That's foul.
Yeah.
That's foul. But
They
anyway,
were clowning old Rudolph.
you know what I mean? The Island of Misfit Toys and all that, right? So, but anyway, Arthur Christmas, Die Hard,
Die Hard was good.
Die Hard. Mhm.
Remember the Night, Babes in Toyland.
Babes in Toyland. That's the movie I was trying to remember.
Okay. You got Tangerine. I don't know what that is. Tangerine,
I don't know what that is either.
Carol, Meet Me in St. Louis, Little Women, The
Again.
Nightmare Before Christmas,
That was really good.
There you go. Jack Skellington.
How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Wow, look at you,
Miss
girl.
Titus.
Yep. The Shop Around the Corner, Holiday Inn, Miracle on 34th Street, the original one, not the remake.
Mhm.
And number 2 and number 1, A Charlie Brown Christmas,
Christmas.
and It's a Wonderful Life.
What? No elf?
Oh.
No
Mhm.
elf.
Yeah.
No elf?
No
Guess
elf.
I guess I won't watch it. It didn't make the list.
Nah, you gotta watch it.
You have to watch it. It's good.
These people
And I
don't know what
said
they're
Die
talking
Hard
about.
was a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
Elf is
Growing up in the Bahamas,
But so was Batman Returns. I still consider that a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
it wasn't.
But speaking
When I was
again,
growing up, we didn't have cable. I didn't get cable until like 1995. So all we had was the local station, and Christmas time was the best time to watch the local station because they played all of the amazing movies and cartoons. So Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Frosty the Snowman, Jack Frost, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Like they played all of these, all of the movies, everything. And that, like, we literally, nobody watched the local channel. We had like video VCRs and all of this type of stuff. But Christmas time was a must. Like I still watch it now. They stream it online, and I actually watch it because I love the cartoon.
cool. Now, my girl Val says Die Hard was funny too, being an action film. Now, every year there's this big debate: is Die Hard to be considered an actual Christmas movie?
Yes.
I think so. Yeah. Mhm.
Hard yes.
Agree.
Why?
It happened
No.
around Christmas. It got Christmas.
for the
stuff
reason?
in it. It got a pagan tree in it. I mean, what kind of pagan is this? Bruce Willis literally, he saved Christmas too. I mean, come on.
For real, the whole premise was a Christmas party.
Yeah,
Right.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Bruce Willis
People
saved that
check on
Christmas.
that though, because it's an action film. It's not, one of those Hallmark type,
Yeah, man, enough of this fa la 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 lifetime.
Uh,
I
Is
mean-
Lethal Weapon considered a Christmas movie?
Yes.
I think so. I think some people.
Yeah. Some people
Didn't the
consider it
terror
Christmas.
like crash the party they were having? I mean, come on.
You know,
Having a party.
you know what's not listed is what's that movie with the Trading Places? Because
Oh, wow,
what's his face? Was a Santa
Murphy
Claus
and
in that
Dan
one too,
Aykroyd,
right?
right.
Dan Aykroyd, right?
Right, that's true.
Mhm.
Elf wasn't.
There was one movie that did not make the list, and I feel very offended.
What's that?
Sleepless in Seattle. Thank you very much. You will respect Meg Ryan and Tom.
That's considered a Christmas movie.
I will not respect
It
that.
is. Sleepless
I
in
never
Seattle.
seen it. Yeah.
Sleepless in
It was a
Seattle?
Christmas movie.
And they didn't have Frosty the Snowman either.
They did not. I feel
Oh,
offended.
yeah. Man,
Wait, what about Look Who's Talking Now with the little doggies? That was a Christmassy.
No.
Go ahead and
Nobody
kick her
saw
out.
that?
Go ahead and kick
Nobody
her out.
saw that? Okay.
Go ahead and kick her out.
Y'all are some haters.
Not Christmas.
Askia Jones said Beach Street. That is a Christmas movie. There's a
Wow.
whole Christmas song on there. I love that movie. I know the whole rap part by heart, but I ain't gonna do that today.
Ah, boo. But speaking of entertainment, though, that's a great segue. I've asked one of the Bodega ladies if they wouldn't mind singing a song for us today at the Bodega. And of course, we have Miss Titus 2 to sing us a song. In fact, let me see
For the record, Johnny and Don can sing too. For the record, let me not hold you and let me throw them under the bus. They can also sing.
Well, if you feel free doing some backup vocals, I'm not gonna hold you.
We have choir rehearsals. They can sing. They be all with together. Me and Tiff can't sing. Let me not even pretend that we can. But them three can sing. They the ones who hold all the notes. I just be Kirk Franklin in the building.
So, are you ready, Miss Titus? Do you need some time, or?
I think I'm ready.
All right.
Even though y'all just shaded me on my movie selection. That's okay.
That's how it is.
Go for it, Miss Titus.
Oh, holy night, the stars are brightly shining. It is the night of our dear Savior's birth. Long lay the world in sin and error pining, till he appeared and the soul felt its worth. A thrill of hope, the weary world rejoices, for yonder breaks a new and glorious morn. Fall on your knees. Oh, hear the angels' voices all night, divine all night. When Christ was born, all night, divine all night. When Christ was born, all night, divine all night. All night divine.
Yay!
Phil and Colin can sing too.
Wow.
I mean, any of the brothers want to sing? I know CMB got some pipes.
Yeah, Phil and Colin can sing. Don't let them pretend like they can't. Echo C can. Y'all, I know y'all think he can. We like to mess with him. Echo C can.
And CMB just froze. I don't know if that's his way of not having to sing. I don't know. That's perfect timing.
Okay. No.
What happened? Oh, I was. You said?
You froze again. All right.
Great job, Miss Titus. Great job.
That was,
Yes.
that was amazing.
Made up for trying to say
Good
Luke
stuff. Good stuff.
Two is the Christmas movie.
Apologies for Detroit.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Man, that girl can sing. You ain't chocolate, everyone. You ain't chocolate. You ain't chocolate.
That girl good.
All right. So what we're gonna do now, guys, is we're gonna vote to see who has the, I guess, most festive, most ugliest, whatever sweater. I'm gonna put this link
It's definitely me.
in the chat.
Oh man, Mr.
All right, you're gonna go to this website and then you're gonna use the code, and we're gonna see if who wins. So I'm gonna share my screen so we can start, so we can see it. All right, so go to that website that I sent to you. Use the code.
It's not a link.
It's not a what? It's not a link?
It's not
All
a
right, hold
link.
on. All right, let me see. Hold on. Oh, okay.
My tree tilted to the side because I'm a jinx, baby. I'm a tree. Oh, flower. Hey.
Tree got a gangster lean.
All right, here we go.
Oh, there you go. I'll be opposite and stuff.
All right, that's the link.
Got Darth Vader on here. Darth Vader. Go.
Right. That's okay. So far it's SOC and stuff like DNU. Here we go. Mary Chalmers as M. Turner. Bible hacking.
Whoever seen the tree do the bowl.
Oh man, I'm starting to lose. Christmas time is here.
Oh man.
So far, I was in the league with 5. Nina is that's Sanita Nika. DNU is DNU. The Grinch is Titus 2.
I literally have candy canes on my face and on my lips with green eyebrows.
How are you?
Sweater.
Beyond me.
But I'm a gift. It's Christmas. I
have a light up necklace.
She came as Nate. She's the gift of God. She came as Nate.
Here. And I have a CR tree.
You got to do the dance, Dinu, that you did at the beginning. You got to do the dance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Let me not. Yeah, hold on. I gotta stop sharing dance because of the dance. Hold on.
Yeah, you got to make it big. There you go.
Go ahead. Oh man! Oh dang!
Y'all better vote for do that. Oh man,
I have on lights. I have on Christmas lights. And I have on Christmas earrings. Like, come on! I hand drew the
Christmas tree though. It's kind of hard to pass, man.
drew the candy canes. All I'm saying.
It's a snowflake. I have Christmas trees.
I'm the
pagan.
Yes.
Sunflower's still killing the game right now.
I have a CR tree. I have a CR tree. My Christmas tree is.
I can't believe this. I cannot believe this.
My tree.
That was
my
epic.
Christmas tree is with red and green.
Why is Miss Titus not winning? Come on, I'm pulling for Titus. I'm pulling for Titus.
This was rigged.
I have a professional involvement in this. Come on, Titus. Come on, dance. Do something. Dance.
That was a pretty good dance. Absolutely. It definitely was. To perfection, I might add. To perfection.
All I'm saying is I have a CR tree in the background. It literally has green.
Stop badgering the people.
They
have spoken.
Miss Titus is actually on her own shirt. Come on.
My tree is black. My tree is super black. Literally, it's black.
The tag and everything.
All of y'all that have graduated high school and elementary, you are fired.
Man.
This is
Hilarious. Oh man.
I just sang for the people.
Oh man.
Vote for Titus.
Oh wait. The news coming up.
It was the dance. It was the
dance.
She's gonna do it again.
She's doing it again.
I have the Christmas mug. I literally got a Christmas mug. My eyebrows are green. Like I came with green eyebrows next to green. I was like, oh what out? And y'all like
Sunflower out here doing the puff
all
dance.
of y'all report to the principal's office. Report to the principal's office. That's all I'm saying.
Well, Cabbage Patch. Wow, we bringing out all the stops, huh? Wow.
Yo.
I don't do well when I don't win.
You know what, guys? I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna call the election, and the winner is Sunflower Tree.
Congratulations!
I demand a recount.
Rigged.
It was rigged.
I'm going to the Supreme Court.
I saw the ballots outside on the ground.
I'm gonna bring my lawyers.
I'm going to the Supreme Court.
You get them African angels. You better get them African angels.
I'm going to Supreme Court, you guys. That's all I'm saying.
All right.
So you can't. She's a whole tree, though. I mean, how can you?
Can't beat the
I'm
whole
so
Christmas
sweet. My
tree.
lips are candy cane.
She's a whole
Come on.
You know how many people she's triggered with that outfit right now?
Look at her. Now
All
she
the
look
response videos will be because of her.
She looked like that thing out of Suicide Squad now, doing that little dance. That lady at the end.
Oh
Doing
yeah,
that little-
you are a beautiful Christmas tree, sunflower tree. You're a very beautiful sunflower tree. I'll give you that. But I literally have a black tree with green and red accents on it in the back. Like I don't understand.
It ain't black enough, sister.
Tree,
It ain't
my
black
tree's
enough.
black. My tree's not green. It's literally a black tree. I mean, come on.
It ain't black enough, sis.
That thing is tight. All the report to the Stop the vote. Stop the vote. Yeah, it's hard to beat. She's a tree, fam. I'm like, that's hard, man. It's hard to beat.
I brought trees with me.
Oh wow.
Thank you.
Water because the tree needs water.
Not only did she bring trees, but she's the gift under the tree.
Wow.
I mean, come on. But you can't pick it up because you'll be worshiping the tree. So
That's true. Yeah, it's got to stay there forever, right, SLC?
Yep, every single day. Don't even put it under there.
That's crazy. That's
We're not praying for that though.
Oh man.
The ballots are crying out.
I'm just happy I got 8 votes.
The ballots are definitely
Somebody is screenshotting me right now.
Oh man.
FYI.
Actually, guys, I'll be
ballots
right
are
back.
I'm going to be screenshotted and sent around Al Gore's internet.
Yep. Yes, we are.
All I'm saying is the ballots are definitely crying out. The ballots are crying out. They're angry. They're not. This is rigged. It's wrong. The ballots are not pleased. The ballots are not pleased.
Someone
I
should
think-
just blow. Just blow.
I think somebody should call for some angels from South Africa, perhaps.
Baby, let me
That's
tell
right.
you something. I had to turn the light on because it was hot.
Right.
I didn't need that.
Yeah, somebody need to call some African angels, and they will be very proud of my CR tree. That's all I'm saying.
CR tree.
CR tree. So they would definitely. The ballots is crying out for me, and they would be proud of my CR tree.
That's not enough CR in there, sister. I'm sorry.
I would like to thank
The tree.
Oh my goodness.
everyone
You didn't win the election. Sorry. You didn't win. It's all over the news.
Here are
It's
leaves
true.
from my tree. Here are leaves from my tree. What color is that? Black. So
No, it's
I'm
not. It's
saying,
purple.
I got a black tree. I got
That's
a black
dark
tree.
purple.
I'm not losing.
Twin. I won. You won, twin. We won
The
together.
tree's
okay,
black,
that's
y'all. The tree's black, y'all. And it's black, and black, and black, and black, y'all. And it's a fact, y'all.
The dead people voted.
They voted twice.
And
Yeah.
If the dead people had voted, I would have won if the dead people would have voted.
That's hilarious.
That was fun.
They coming
That
on
was good.
Kwanzaa. That's
That was good.
hilarious. They are definitely coming on Kwanzaa.
All right. So with that, that was fun. So what I would like to do now is share some. You guys, what are some of your favorite Christmas moments growing up?
Oh man, when I got I was a big Ghostbusters fan back in the day. My dad brought me like all the toys with the slime, and he got me the Ghostbusters car, and I had the Ectomobile, everything. Man, that was a cool Christmas. I remember that.
Nice.
I got my first cell phone. It was the Nokia with the snake game. It was so cute. It was singular wireless. It was like the best gift ever.
Shout out to Singular, yes.
Wow.
I was the only child for 8 glorious years before the other kids came around, and all my Christmases were amazing. Like all the presents were mine, literally. My parents put nothing for themselves under the tree. Didn't really bother me because it was all my gifts. Okay, and it was like a lot of them everywhere. Like I got the Care Bear castle and everything that went with the Care Bear accessory set. Like I had the whole thing. I had my own room with toys in it, and then other kids came. Then my Christmas just kind of went downhill. That's all I'm saying.
But you're not bitter.
Right.
I'm not bitter. They try to get my heritage. That's all I'm saying. 0 to 8, best Christmases.
G.I. Joe's also dope.
Nice.
For me, one of my favorite Christmas memories, surprise, surprise, is when I got a CD player accompanied by what album? Black Rain by Queen Latifah.
There you go.
I have a Christmas memory every Christmas.
Actually, before you do that, there's been a serious change here. M. Turner.
Oh, sunflower.
Wait a minute.
Oh,
I guess they did find them ballots.
Oh no!
Winner is now M. Turner.
Came through. The
Oh,
African
no.
Angels came
I
through.
will keep this going, and then before we sign off, we're gonna see. All right, so keep voting, even though you don't see this. All right, so right now, Mary Chalmers is winning.
It's sunflower tree left.
He's back.
He's back. He's back.
Uh-oh, it's a dance off now.
Oh man. But anyway, I'm sorry, Dinu.
Oh man.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That was necessary. So I have a favorite Christmas memory. Every Christmas, we would play the Boney M Christmas album on the record player. We had a record player. And so that was something that we did every year. And we would just play it over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah, my wife and I, we had our youngest daughter on the 27th. So our little Stormy Fox was our Christmas gift. Yeah.
Go Stormy.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm busting up in this piece, huh?
Yeah, for real. Yeah. Right around Christmas. Let me out.
Wow, that's dope. Shawnee's tight. Look at her.
Vote.
I don't know what Michelle did, but she doubled them votes overnight.
The African Angels was like, her tree is black with red and green. It came through. The African
voting multiple times.
The African Angels came through.
All selected.
My
over.
The African Angels, how can we not?
Oh,
The
man.
African Angels came through.
Yo. Christmas,
Black
Gumby going.
you made the black
Gumby's going to take you out. He's going to turn it with an Eddie Murphy Gumby.
For years of being pagan. I've been dogged for years. What's another year? What?
Say vote for me. I'm a gift, and I danced, and I'm Benjamin.
There you go.
Shout out to the 2/3. Shout out to the 2/3.
Yo, do the upset. Give it to me. Give it to me.
So
Shout out to the 2/3.
I'll put the hoodie on if you give me a couple of votes. I'll put the hoodie over my head and everything.
Shout out to the 2/3.
I'll be Skellington for real.
That's wild.
Christmas joy for me. So growing up, we didn't have a lot financially, but some of the things that made Christmas memorable for me was so my mom, she was a nurse, she was a government worker. They only get paid once a month. In December, they would get paid on December 15th. Y'all, my mama would go to the grocery store and our cupboards would be booked. I'm talking about we'd have cookies, we would have chips, we have everything. And then my sisters would redecorate the tree every night until Christmas. And then so we all would do it. We all would do it together. We would stay up all night because everybody wants to open their whatever gifts we had December 25th, like that morning. But what we would do is we would like give each other gifts. Something that the other person wanted or anything like that. And then in the Bahamas, Boxing Day is the day after Christmas. And we have a parade called Junkanoo. It's a fabulous parade. It's costumes made out of cardboard. It's dancing and all that stuff. And it usually starts like midnight on Boxing Day and it runs until the next morning. But the entire nation, for the most part, will be out there. And it's a huge competition of the different groups to see which one would win. And so that's some of the most memorable moments for me for Christmas would be that. And of course, the Bahamian cuisine. I mean, we're the best. But anyway, Christmas for me. And then the Christmas cartoons. So, and the Christmas plays and all those stuff. Those are all moments I could look back in my childhood and see that while there wasn't a preponderance of stuff, family, unity, remembering Jesus, and then celebrating Bahamian culture was always is always a great memory for me.
Nice. For me, it was there's one Christmas in particular. When I was younger, we would go to Puerto Rico for Christmas. I remember, right? They give gifts on the 6th, not the 25th, right? So we're in Puerto Rico, and it's Three Kings Day, right? So you know how in America, you set out milk and cookies for Santa. Well, in Puerto Rico, we would go get hay and put hay underneath our beds for the camels because the three kings are coming on their camels. So the day comes and you look underneath your bed at first to see if they left you gifts, and they did. I was a big Star Wars fan, of course, you guys know that. So I got some Star Wars figures. Then I went into the living room, and on the sofa there was a whole bunch of Star Wars figures there. I'm like, oh man, this is really good. But then we got to go to all my cousins and uncles' homes, so we're driving to different homes. Every home, I'm getting 2 to 3 more action figures. So I'm like, I'm racking up. This is amazing. Yeah, like I've never had this many gifts at all. You know what I mean? So now we fly back to New York. They open the door to the apartment. We go in, and there's boxes underneath the Christmas tree back home. And I got even more action figures. In fact, I pretty much still have all those action figures in my parents to this day. So that was one of my favorite, Christmases.
Wow, that's awesome.
Quick
update. And time for the update.
News moving up.
Ooh. Oh, another one.
That's work, man.
New.
Oh man.
So
I just want to say that Jesus is king.
It's gonna get real holy.
You sow a seed.
That's right. That's right. Give BK some super chats because BK saved Christmas. All I'm saying is for the low price of starting at $5. You can go to why you want to.
Right.
You can save Christmas with BK.
Strike. Give a dollar.
That's right. All of that.
We need to open investigation into these folks. Another update.
Oh.
The new is overtaking the lead.
I'm gonna tell you right now, Nate 2D2 is hacking the system.
that does
Nate
feel like a
2D2 is
Nate job.
definitely hacking the system.
Nate 2D2 put it on Facebook.
What up again?
Man.
What's going on?
Benjamin, big up to Ben.
Brat.
You'll put it on your Facebook page. Just tell everybody to vote for you. Get the numbers up.
That's great. But so I
I
mean,
do got Miracle Water, Will. I have Miracle Water. You give some super chats, you can get all the Miracle Water that you want. I'm telling you, it's not
Right out the tap. Right out the tap.
Whole different
There you
Miracle
go.
Water.
You get that tap water.
The miracle is BK Save Christmas. Let's start there with the super chat.
Oh, she's buttering up the host. She's trying to get them votes.
oh man, listen, I have nothing to do with the votes. That's
Yeah. You manipulating it back there, brother.
But I hope that encouraged everyone. I know there was a lot of information, but I really want you to not feel, that you can't celebrate the holiday. You can, if you want, and you're not sinning against God at all. And hopefully for those of us who are on the legalistic side, as I once was, hopefully this helps you. You go check out the video when it's done, replay it, get the sources, and hopefully you'll pivot in your convictions as well. So
yeah.
You know what I mean? So let's take another quick update. Oh man,
she did something.
Opening up.
Hey guys,
I
do
think
the
that
incognito window and vote. I'm just saying. y'all can vote twice.
The will of the Lord shall prevail.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. Now she's ultra righteous. Oh.
That's why she's winning. I'm telling you why she's winning. And it's not because it's ugly.
Let's start that. Don't be petty, Mary. Don't be petty. Mary
I do not.
There's 35.
It's not Ajax. Apologies in Detroit. The miracle soap is not Ajax. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it is.
But as we kind of wrap things up a little, as always, I hope you guys enjoy this. I hope you learn some things. I hope you feel good about entering into the holiday season. I know for many of us, who are single, it could be difficult for you guys, especially with the pandemic and they want to shut stuff down and close stuff down again. Make sure that you check in on one another. Have your Zoom parties. I know it's not the same, but let's keep our spirits high during this time, and let's make sure that we check in on one another and we keep the fellowship going throughout the holiday season. Okay, so let's make sure we are a good neighbor to one another throughout the interwebs. So, with that being said, CMB, what can we be expecting from you in the near future?
I'll be back in the bodega next time we have it, man. Yeah, we're working on some stuff, man. We got some stuff with SOC and a mystery tag team partner coming forward. We're in the lab for that one, so it's going to be fire as usual. So we're coming up with that one, but that's pretty much it. Just praying for the family, you know what I'm saying, and thanks to everybody for the prayers and all that stuff over the last couple of weeks, and just please pray for our church. COVID's kind of hitting hard there, so just in our city, it's out of control. So yeah, just pray for us.
Man. Dana, aka Santina Nakia, what can we expect from you?
You can just catch me around. But I did want to say something. I'm non-committal. But you can. I did want to say, if there's anybody who's watching and we are connected via Facebook, and you really are somebody that's struggling with the season, with like, I wish I had somebody to talk to, and I mean this very sincerely, and anybody in this screen can tell you I mean this sincerely, please reach out to me. Like, we can have a conversation. I drink coffee, tea, like, just, you don't have to be alone. If you find yourself in that boat and we are connected via Facebook or Instagram, please, let's have a conversation. Trust me, I can come up with some questions.
And Dean, what's going on with you?
So you can find me giving a thank you speech to everyone who voted for me. I would just like to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, who is the head of my life. And without him, those votes would not have been possible. And so I just want to thank him for my sweater, and I want to thank him for coming and the earth and dying and being born first. Obviously, the order's important. But other than that, you will find me just out in these YouTube streets. Usually I'm blue. Yeah, you'll find me doing something with the Bodega ladies one of these days.
Cool. Christine C says, thank you all. Cleared up some things for some friends. Bless you always, and also for the laughs. I'm glad we can help. So one of many pagan Bodega next week, or is it too close to the pagan holiday? That's a good question. Next week what's next week? Next week is the
it's fine next week. Yeah, the pagan holiday falls on Friday.
Yeah, the 18th will definitely, but not the 25th. So, Mr. Holiday, the real American, Mr. Phil Fox.
Yeah,
what can we expect from you, sir?
I got a few shows lined up this Sunday. I'll be on with Dr. Chris Featherstone. Will be part 5 of our Word of Faith series. So this Sunday will be de-waffing and de-gnawing scriptures. So some of the scriptures that the Word of Faith and the New Apostolic Reformation use out of context, we'll be putting that back into context. And then on the 20th, I will have Mr. BK Apologist himself, and we'll be going over the Archangel, or the Angel of the Lord, and the Trinity. So it's kind of a revisit to a video that he did, but yeah, so it intrigued me. So I need to have some of his thoughts on my channel.
Sure.
And then I'm working out a date. I'm working out the date right now, or the time actually, with Dr. Jonathan Pritchett. But it looks like we are going to have the conversation about a deep look into Calvinism. So we're going to burn some bridges there.
It's going to be on fire. Fire all over the place.
Yes, the bridges are going to be burning. So Dr. Jonathan Pritchett on the 3rd is what we're looking like. We're just trying to nail down the time. But he said that's more than likely going to work for him. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, on January 10th, I will have Mark Charles, the co-author of Unsettling Truths, and we'll be discussing some things like the doctrine of discovery and American exceptionalism, and looking at the Constitution and seeing how that's a white supremacist document. And he goes in. And so shout out to MJ Jackson for putting me on, and then shout out to BK Apologist for giving me the digital copy of the book, and then I had to go out and get the hard copy and all that. So got some exciting guests lined up, and I got some few more ideas for 2021. So yeah, Mr. Phil Fox, Drops the Folk Ministries.
Yeah, Phil Fox is not playing, fam. He out here. He out here. And of course, we have Old Sunflower Tree. What can we expect from you?
No cheating. That's what it is. When the polls are closed, they're closed.
The polls ain't closed yet. There's still a chance.
See this? This is called salty.
Oh man.
Oh,
the shade was amazing. Oh my God.
Salty tree.
No. Hey, my sister's not salty.
I'm not salty. You call the race and then you reopen it. I'm just telling you.
I didn't close it, so I mean, I'm sorry. I mean,
oh my
you are the
goodness.
original winner. You are the original winner. You are.
For me, I'll be here. Trying not to get corona. But I'll be in chats on Facebook. Something's coming real soon because Michelle would not let me rest, honey. Mary Shelma will not let me rest. Neither will St. Tina Nikia. But yeah, you'll see me around in the chats. Bodega ladies, we're mods all over, and I'll be here whenever we come back. Not cheating. You're like Al Gore right now.
Look at the chat.
Al Gore.
Look at the
Oh
man. Miss Titus 2, what's going on, man? What's going on with you, sis?
All right, well, BK worked really hard to save Christmas, but I will be reprising my role as Ty Grinch, wrecking a Christmas near you. Not too late to vote, people. Titus 2, that's right. Representing for SOC.
Oh, easy.
Agree to that.
Fam.
You messed it up.
You
messed it up. I made sure for you, and then you're going to claim East Coast. Messed it up.
Top keys in the building, fam.
No.
Got my construction boots
See,
in
the
the
fact that you
closet.
call them construction boots and not Tim's is
Wow.
another.
I was about to say construction boots.
I'm from the East Coast.
No, you're not. Anyway, what can we expect from you outside of delusions of grandeur?
More lies. More lies.
Oh,
I'm
man.
working on some projects for the new year.
That's a lie.
What did the sunflower say? Huh?
They're gonna take it easy on you.
Thank you. I sung a song that should earn me some votes and some credit for the night. Okay, y'all give the girl a break, fam. Jeez, Louise, it's Christmas. I'm working on some projects, so y'all please subscribe to Miss Titus 2's YouTube channel. I know I've been MIA for a little bit, but I'm just taking a little break. I will be back. TBD. That's all.
Cool. SOC, what can we expect from you, sir?
Well, yesterday I had a really cool video where I actually answered an emailer's questions. And after that chat, I got another load of questions. So it actually went over very well. So I'm going to be coming out with more videos answering email questions. Tomorrow is Saturday Night Live with SOC. We're going to be going over Romans chapter 5, verse by verse. So I'm excited about that. And then, of course, in January sometime, we're going to pick back up with real reviews with SOC. And we're going to review another batch of movies contextualizing the gospel and helping to reach people with Jesus, about Jesus.
Cool. Mary Shelmus, what's going on with you?
You'll find me on SNL with SOC tomorrow, and then I'm retiring from YouTube.
Oh, here we go again.
I'm retiring. I'm going to retire. I ain't coming back to YouTube, Facebook. You know what? I've been enjoying my break. I really ain't. I probably might not legit come back to Facebook to share stuff because I realize Facebook is too much and it's not enough all at the same time. I'm going to try Facebook, and I might not go back to Instagram either. All I'm saying is I'm going to be in SNL with SOC. I really ain't got nothing else going on after that. But they're like, I'm going to do something. We ain't did nothing, so I'm retiring. That's my answer. Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night.
Wow. Okay, so for me, what we got here? So next year, right off the beginning, we're gonna have how important is the Tanakh to the Christian? A conversation with Carmen Joy Ames. You might know her from her Torah Tuesdays. Yes, she does. And so that's going to be fun to talk to her. Other stuff that we're working on is we're going to have Miss Samara Blair, Raising Them Right, the challenges of raising children of color in the faith. So we'll be having her pretty soon. There's another thing that we're working on. It's called Azazel, the Investigative Judgment, and Them Goats, with BK Apologetics, CMB, and the Bodega ladies. And I'm also working on something with Adam Coleman, where we're going to be taking a little look at Mr. Young Pharaoh, some of the claims that Young Pharaoh's making. And we'll be having a conversation about apologetics in the Army with Kevin Benton Jr.
That's going to be cool.
It's gonna be, so there's some things, brewing in the background. So,
cool.
With that being said, man, this was wild. So it is CMB, Dana, Dinu, Mr. Holiday, Phil Fox, Sunflower Tree, Titus 2 Grinch, Jack Skeleton, Mary Shelmus, and your boy BK Apologist signing off. Catch you next week at the Bodega. Peace.